Hey everyone, I'm David and I'm coming to you from my kitchen today, and we're going to make a great treat that's one of my favorites. I haven't had it in actually several years now, and just thought I would share this with you on video this evening, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it with your family and friends. This is a luscious double chocolate pecan banana bread. Double chocolate pecan banana bread. So I've already got the ingredients laid out here, so we'll just get right into this, go through the ingredients, and we'll see if we can make this batter and get these things into the oven. As you can see, I'm enjoying a nice French roast as I cook today, and that's okay. Have fun in the kitchen. That's what this is all about. This year, as we've come through COVID, I have learned some lessons that it's time to live life and just enjoy doing some things. And I've always wanted to do some presenting on in front of the camera, and so I'm just going to do that and launch into it. Hopefully I'll get better as we go, and we'll just explore this little hobby that I wanted to do and see what the results are. So tonight, as we get ready to do this recipe, we've got 1 cup of white sugar. Some people might opt for brown sugar, but this is white. We've got 3 medium ripe bananas. We've got 1 3/4 cup of flour. We've got a full cup of chocolate chips here. You can use dark chocolate, you can use milk chocolate, you could use butterscotch, you can use whatever you want, but I choose to use chocolate because I freaking love chocolate. I've got 1 3/4 cups of pecans. We're going to use some of those in the mix and then some on top to garnish the mix with, as well as a few of the chocolate chips on top as well. We've got a 1/2 cup of oil. We've got 2 eggs that we're going to beat. We've got a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of milk, and you got it, the best ingredient, a 1/2 cup of cocoa. This time I'm using regular Hershey's cocoa. On the last batch that I just took out of the oven, you might see them back here, I used the special dark cocoa, and we're going to do a little experiment and see which one is better. See who likes milk chocolate, or if you like the semi-sweet or the special dark. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the pecans and how I prepared those. So the first thing about this recipe is we need to take our sugar and our oil and we need to combine that. And the recipe talks about combining it until it's fluffy. And I think that you'll see maybe that's not the best terminology to use because I don't think it comes out fluffy, but it does mix it. And so we'll just turn this on and we'll get this started. Now, as I'm learning, and I am not a chef, but I enjoy cooking. It's fun if I have time. If I'm bogged down with my business, then I don't enjoy it and I end up going to the drive-thru a lot. But I'm learning that cooking is chemistry, and I've known that for many years. As my specialty in Thanksgiving, and it's close to Thanksgiving now, my specialty with my family was always making homemade yeast rolls. And I learned a long time ago, if the weather is not right, or if the humidity in the house is not right, that chemistry mix is not going to turn out very good. And there have been times when we've had to throw the whole batch away. And sometimes it turned out wonderful and everybody gave me compliments about my bread, and other times I ran to the store and bought store-made yeast rolls. And so cooking is chemistry, and it's about getting it right, getting the ingredients right. If you watch all the people on TV, they tell you use the exact amount of the ingredients that you're being told. So I've got this mixing. It's not getting fluffy. I'll take the bowl out and let you see it here, but it's just mixing the sugar and the oil together, and it kind of looks, I don't know what it looks like. It's kind of a crazy look, but it's just kind of clumps together, but it does mix that together. And then the next thing that we're going to do is add the eggs, and we need to beat the eggs, and so we'll do that right now. And we just lightly beat them. Try not to spill it out. I'm a messy cook. My mother will tell you I've always been a messy cook, and so I'm trying to be better for this little demonstration here. So then we're going to add the eggs to this sugar and oil mix. I'm just going to pour them in. I'm turning the mixer on low. It does a really good job of mixing things, and then once it kind of starts getting mixed together, then you can speed it up a little bit more and let it do its thing. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because I'm in the mood for coffee tonight. All right, the next thing that's going in, I'm just going to continue to let that mix for a little bit. I have found that with this particular recipe, you can mix and mix and mix, and it's really not going to affect it. The bananas, I wanted to mash them as we were doing it on camera. These are medium ripe bananas. I like a little bit of the bruising in them. It's just seems to be the optimal thing for banana bread. I've seen a lot of people in kitchens that when those bananas start to ripe, they start saying it's time to make banana bread. And I don't know what happened, but the other week I just decided I was going to get in the mood for banana bread. And this is not a great setup to mash your bananas because my little glass bowl is hitting the granite and making noise, so I'll try to hold it down here. You don't want to mash the bananas until they become liquefied. That's a little too much, but just until there's no big clumps. You don't want big clumps of bananas in your banana bread. You want it to permeate the mix, and they're beginning to get a little bit better here. This is kind of like how I do my ice cream. When I do ice cream, I usually put it in the microwave for about 10 or 12 seconds to soften it up, and then I start mixing it up until I'm kind of like a milkshake. All right, so those are starting to, you can see the moisture beginning to come out in them. You can see that there's small pieces of banana, and that's what we want to do, is we want to have it about this consistency. I'm going to stop the mixer, lift it up, and we're going to add this banana mix in there. Some things you have to add slowly, but with this particular part of the recipe, you can just add it all in there at one time. Get a little bit off my finger. We'll put that back in, let that slowly mix. The next part of the recipe is that we are supposed to sift all the dry ingredients together. So I'm going to add the baking soda, the half a teaspoon of baking powder. I washed these a little while ago after I did my first batch, so there's still a little moisture in there. So we'll scrape that out. Half a teaspoon of salt. And this is fun. Do you have something that you've been wanting to do and you haven't done it just because you were scared? I'm telling you, I've seen so many people suffering, and this COVID thing has just changed my life. And I've decided I'm going to be brave and just get out there and do some things that I want to do. And so this is one of them. So now I'm not going to mix in the cocoa with my dry ingredients. For me, I just felt like it's better to mix that in a little bit later. But I'm just going to kind of sift these together. Some of you may want to actually get a sifter or whatever, but I think for this recipe, the mixer is going to do most of that job. But you just want to incorporate all those ingredients together. And then for this recipe, you want to take your half a cup of milk and your dry ingredients, and you want to just add them in slowly together, kind of alternatively. You see how that's kind of getting gooey and sticky? I'm just going to add a little bit of this. I've always hated flour. I love flour, but I hate how it just creates a cloud and gets all over you as you work with it. That's just part of cooking. I'm going to mix that a little bit. Let it start to do its thing. I have found that this batter, it's really kind of hard to mess this up if you do it just in the order that the recipe calls for. I'm going to add a little bit of the milk now just to kind of cause that to begin to incorporate. If you use your spatula with these KitchenAid mixers, be careful because that mixer rotates around and around, and it can catch your spatula and try to take it for a ride. So just be careful there. We're going to add a little bit more flour. I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of it. I'm a little bit impatient sometimes. None of you are like that, are you? We want things to happen too quickly in life. Boy, that's been a big thing that I've had to learn, is just patience. And as I began to age, and I am getting older, patience is coming more and more, but I still find myself sometimes going back and wanting to do things more quickly than I should. But I got away with it this time, so I didn't make too much of a mess. I'm going to add the rest of the milk. I'm going to let that incorporate and mix. Hopefully one day I'll get a overhead camera like the pros, and you can see what's going on in the bowl But for now, it's looking good. I'm going to speed the mixer up just a little bit. Get that going. It smells delicious too. All right, that's really great. So now I'm just going to let it rest for just a second. And I'm going to begin putting the cocoa in. This stuff is pretty powdery as well. So you have to go slow with the mixer and the cocoa. I don't know what it is about chocolate, but I simply adore chocolate. I will default to chocolate almost every time on a dessert. I was in Charleston, South Carolina recently, and I did find something that I liked probably better than chocolate, even though chocolate will always be my daily default. I found some strawberry lemon sorbet. It was a non-dairy, and oh my gosh, it was so unbelievably good. It was at the Savannah's Candy Kitchen, downtown Charleston. So if you ever go to Charleston, South Carolina, it's right across from the old Customs House there downtown. Go over to Savannah's and ask for some strawberry lemon sorbet. It will knock your socks off. I think that's probably the best flavor that I've ever put in my mouth. It was just unbelievable. So enough about that. Back to the chocolate, please. Get all this chocolate in there. I can taste it in the air just a little bit. I went out and bought some little glass bowls for the demo, so I think I did pretty good. I may not have bought enough, but it's kind of fun setting this stuff up. I used to work for a Christian TV station after college, and you will be surprised at the preparation that goes into TV productions and things like that. And now with the advent of YouTube, we can all kind of get involved, maybe not on the level that those things are, but we can kind of get the same result. And I think it's great that so many people are on YouTube and they're doing their thing. I watch a lot of boating. I'm a sailor, or learning to be a sailor, and just recently bought a sailboat. And I see all these people that are, making money on their videos. They spend a ton of time editing. I'm not doing that. This is kind of like a one take. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But so if you have a passion, maybe you do art, maybe you do crafts, maybe you're good at talking, and just get the camera out and start sharing that with the world. And my goodness, we can all make this world a better place. So many people are struggling right now. So many people are depressed. I've struggled with depression for many years, and I've just decided I'm going to just do the things I enjoy, do the things I love, and have a good time. All right, so this is mixing up good. I'm going to turn it down, and now we're going to, this batter is really almost ready now. Let me not knock it all over, but I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see it right now, but we're going to add the chocolate chips. We're going to add most of the pecans. Now the pecans, or pecans if you're from the South, I toasted them, and there are several different ways you can do that. You can do it in the oven. It takes a little longer. Or you can melt some butter, put a little bit of salt, and stick them in the microwave for about 2 minutes. And you'll still get good toasted pecans every time. So we're just going to put all the, almost all of the chocolate chips in here. I'm going to save just a few for a garnish on top of the bread because it just makes it look prettier. I'm going to do the same thing with the pecans. Save a few for the top. I'm going to put this in, and we will let that mix up. Now, when you're chopping the pecans, I just pulled out this little hand chopper and put it on a plate and just kind of stuck them down here. I don't want to put them in a food processor because I think that gets them too fine. So I just did a couple of chops like this so that it's got nice pieces. Maybe 1 or 2 more chops there. And there you go, you chopped pecans. These little things, probably 15 bucks. It's great. I wanted the orange one because I wanted some color in my life. And so I like the color. And this is almost done. I think you're going to hear my dogs barking. They're coming out. This is live home TV. All right, that batter is looking fantastic. I'm going to get my pan I've already pre-greased this little non-stick pan. I think it's still good to grease them so that the batter doesn't stick. Maybe you can see that nice gooey batter coming down here. I'm going to get my hands dirty a little bit. That'll be a fun little thing of dishes to wash in a few minutes. Now this is going to make enough for basically two of these pans. These are, let's see, 8 by 4 inch pans. You'll get one really full, one kind of half full or 2/3 of the way full. And we're just going to pour it in there. Look at that nice, rich chocolate batter. There is nothing better, in my opinion, than chocolate and bananas. You see people do bananas dipped in chocolate and frozen. I like to make a chocolate banana milkshake, and I have a secret ingredient for that I will not share, but one of these days I'm going to sell it to somebody because it is the best chocolate banana milkshake you will ever have. So I've got this in here. I'm going to do a little garnish here with the pecans, whatever you want to call them. It just makes this whole thing look good. I want to get it all over the top of it. And I am going to put the chocolate chips in there. And I don't know if you're like me, but this happened to me recently. I went and got a chocolate dessert at a restaurant. It had chocolate mousse in it. It had several layers of chocolate. It had a cheesecake layer. And they brought it out to me, and the whole thing was garnished in fresh chocolate chips on the outside. And so when I went to eat it, I wanted to enjoy that luscious mousse. But for me, the combination of crunchy chocolate chips and soft chocolate just doesn't work very good. It kind of messes up the whole thing for me. So these are going to melt on top. I don't know if you can see it because if I turn it too far, it's going to spill out. But that is a gorgeous little mixture of chocolate and bananas. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to prepare the ingredients to mix this up. And then you're going to bake this at about 350, 375 for 45 minutes to an hour, or until it does the little stick test and nothing is sticking to it when it comes out of the oven. So I'll take some pictures and post these online, and I will let you know how it turned out. Hope you have a great evening, and thanks for watching. If I've set this up where you can subscribe, then please like and subscribe and all the stuff that people want you to do for the videos. I'm just having fun and wanted to share this with you. So hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Good morning. It's early morning, and I am up and about getting my day started. And I wrapped the banana breads in tin foil, and they cooled overnight. And I'll have to admit, I've already broken into them some. My preference, without a doubt, is the dark chocolate. The regular chocolate is great, but I just like the dark chocolate. So to me, that's what I'm going after. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see them. The one with the garnish on top is the regular chocolate. I forgot to put my garnish on the first two that I did with the dark chocolate, so you'll see the difference. So you're only going to see a piece of that one anyway, because the rest of them are wrapped up, and you can see the piece that I am chomping on now. So I'm going to turn the camera around. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. This is the regular chocolate, and you'll see the dark chocolate on the piece that I'm eating. Back to the one with the garnish, which that is just absolutely beautiful. And go out and try some double chocolate pecan banana bread.